Good morning. Thank you for joining me today. This morning, we'll be in Hosea chapter 4, verse 1, through chapter 5, verse 15. Hear the word of the Lord, you Israelites. For the Lord has a covenant lawsuit against the people of Israel. For there is neither faithfulness nor loyalty in the land, nor do they acknowledge God. There is only cursing, lying, murder, stealing, and adultery. They resort to violence and bloodshed. Therefore the land will mourn, and all its inhabitants will perish. The wild animals, the birds of the sky, and even the fish in the sea will perish. Do not let anyone accuse or contend against anyone else, for my case is against your priests. You stumble day and night, and the false prophets stumble with you. You have destroyed your own people. You have destroyed my people by failing to acknowledge me. Because you refuse to acknowledge me, I will reject you as my priests. Because you reject the law of your God, I will reject your descendants. The more the priests increased in number, the more they rebelled against me. They have turned their glorious calling into a shameful disgrace. They feed on the sin offerings of my people. Their appetites long for their iniquity. I will deal with the people and priests together. I will punish them both for their ways, and I will repay them for their deeds. They will eat, but not be satisfied. They will engage in prostitution, but not increase in numbers, because they have abandoned the Lord by pursuing other gods. Old and new wine take away the understanding of my people. They consult their wooden idols, and their diviner's staff answers with an oracle. The wind of prostitution blows them astray. They commit spiritual adultery against their God. They sacrifice on the mountaintops and burn offerings on the hills. They sacrifice under oak, poplar, and terebinth, because their shade is so pleasant. As a result, your daughters have become cult prostitutes, and your daughters-in-law commit adultery. I will not punish your daughters when they commit prostitution, nor your daughters-in-law when they commit adultery, for the men consort with harlots. They sacrifice with temple prostitutes. It is true, a people that lacks understanding will come to ruin. Although you, O Israel, committed adultery, do not let Judah become guilty. Do not journey to Gilgal. Do not go up to Bethaven. Do not swear, as surely as the Lord lives. Israel has rebelled like a stubborn heifer. Soon the Lord will put them out to pasture like a lamb in a broad field. Ephraim has attached himself to idols. Do not go near him. They consume their alcohol. They engage in cult prostitution. They dearly love their shameful behavior. A whirlwind has wrapped them in its wings. They will be brought to shame because of their idolatrous worship. Hear this, you priests. Pay attention, you Israelites. Listen closely, O king, for judgment is about to overtake you. For you are like a trap to Mizpah, like a net spread out to catch Tabor. Those who revolt are knee-deep in slaughter, but I will discipline them all. I know Ephraim all too well. The evil of Israel is not hidden from me, for you have engaged in prostitution, O Ephraim. Israel has defiled itself. Their wicked deeds do not allow them to return to their God, because the spirit of idolatry controls their heart, and they do not acknowledge the Lord. The arrogance of Israel testifies against it. Israel and Ephraim will be overthrown because of their iniquity. Even Judah will be brought down with them. Although they bring their flocks and herds to seek the favor of the Lord, they will not find him. He has withdrawn himself from them. They have committed treason against the Lord, because they bore illegitimate children. Soon the new moon festival will devour them in their fields. Blow the ram's horn in Gibeah, sound the trumpet in Ramah, sound the alarm in Bethaven, tremble in fear, O Benjamin. Ephraim will be ruined in the day of judgment. What I am declaring to the tribes of Israel will certainly take place. The princes of Judah are like those who move boundary markers. I will pour out my rage on them like a torrential flood. Ephraim will be oppressed, crushed under judgment, because he was determined to pursue worthless idols. I will be like a moth to Ephraim, like wood wrought to the house of Judah. When Ephraim saw his sickness and Judah saw his wound, then Ephraim turned to Assyria and begged its great king for help. But he will not be able to heal you. He cannot cure your wound. I will be like a lion to Ephraim, like a young lion in the house of Judah. I myself will tear them to pieces, and then I will carry them off, and no one will be able to rescue them. Then I will return again to my lair until they have suffered their punishment. Then they will seek me. In their distress, they will earnestly seek me. So first off, you have Hosea's interactions with Gomer, and that object lesson and that controversy, in that she keeps going astray from him, and he keeps trying to come after her. And then you have God's controversy with Israel here. That's how Israel keeps going astray, and he keeps coming after her, and just the continual waywardness of Israel. Yeah. And in describing the adultery / idolatry that Israel participates in, he says, like, your daughters engage in it, your daughters-in-law engage in it, but I'm not even going to punish them because your men engage in it too. It's just like, all of you do. So, yeah. Because the men of Israel sinned this way, God would not single the women of Israel out for judgment. When it came to this sin, God doesn't have a double standard for sexual conduct between men and women. You also have a lot of referencing Israel via Ephraim, who was the son that the birthright went to for Jacob's descendants. I guess blessing. Yep. Okay, carrying on. 2 John, chapter 1, verses 1 through 13. From the elder, to an elect lady and her children, whom I love in truth, and not I alone, but all those who know the truth, because of the truth that resides in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace will be with us from God the Father, and from Jesus Christ the Son of the Father, in truth and love. I rejoiced greatly because I have found some of your children living according to the truth, just as the Father commanded us. But now I ask you, lady, not as if I were writing a new commandment to you, but the one we have had from the beginning, that we love one another. Now this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. This is the commandment, just as you have heard from the beginning. Thus you should walk in it. For many deceivers have gone out into the world, people who do not confess Jesus as Christ, coming in the flesh. This person is the deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch out, so that you do not lose the things we have worked for, but receive a full reward. Everyone who goes on ahead and does not remain in the teaching of Christ does not have God. The one who remains in this teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your house, and do not give him any greeting, because the person who gives him a greeting shares in his evil deeds. Though I have many other things to write to you, I do not want to do so with paper and ink, but I hope to come visit you and speak face to face, so that our joy may be complete. The children of your elect sister greet you. Interesting. Feels like a lot of the same concerns that John had in 1 John are present in 2 John as well, about many deceivers having gone out into the world, people who do not confess Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh. And just to be wary about those things. And I think we should be wary about those things. Because, I mean, it's certainly no less true today than it was when this was written, that there are people out there who deny Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh. And you also have here an adjuration to love one another. And love for, and he says, now this is love, that we walk according to his commandments. So, interesting. And it's to a elect lady and her children, which it looks like she has done well in leading them in the faith, in that the same love in her is also in her children. So, carrying on, Psalm 125, verses 1 through 5. I look up toward the hills. From where does my help come? My help comes from the Lord, the creator of heaven and earth. May he not allow your foot to slip. May your protector not sleep. Look, Israel's protector does not sleep or slumber. The Lord is your protector. The Lord is the shade at your right hand. The sun will not harm you by day, or the moon by night. The Lord will protect you from all harm. He will protect your life. The Lord will protect you in all you do, now and forevermore. Yeah, and ultimately our protection does come from God. Carrying on, Proverbs 29, verses 9 through 11. If a wise person goes to court with a foolish person, there is no peace whether he is angry or laughs. Bloodthirsty people hate someone with integrity. As for the upright, they seek his life. A fool lets fly with all his temper, but a wise person keeps it back. Yeah. Unrestrained anger from the fool. What is it? Anger dwells in the heart of fools. Something like that. And James, oh man, let everyone be quick to hear, slow to anger, and slow to speak. Slow to speak, slow to anger, and quick to hear, whichever order those are in. For the anger of men does not bring about the righteousness of God. So, I think constant warning is necessary. I like how the NASB does 29:9. When a wise man has a controversy with a foolish man, the foolish man either rages or laughs, and there is no peace. Yeah, it has proved true in my experience. Yeah. Okay, well, thank you so much for joining me today. Hope you have a great day. Bye.